Three things I started doing at 85 to rebuild muscle fast. Now, I like to think of our adult lives as being divided into kind of three major age stages. First our 20s, our 40s, and then 60s and beyond. Now, when we're 20, we don't spend much time thinking about what things are going to be like at 67 or 80. Our bodies are young, we recover quickly, and we can get away with a lot. By 40, things start to change a little bit. Now, the choices we made about exercise, food, sleep, weight, supplements, and our daily habits start to show up. Then we reach 60 and beyond, and those choices matter even more. You've probably heard that genetics accounts for only about 20% of how long we live, with the rest influenced by lifestyle, environment, and other factors. Now, I wouldn't get too hung up on those numbers exactly, because scientists don't agree on any one number at all. Now, the important point is your genes may influence the hand that you're dealt, but your daily choices determine how you play that hand. What you eat matters. How much you move matters. Maintaining your muscles matter. These are things we have choices about. And sometimes what you don't do matters as much. Now, by the time you reach my age, you begin to understand something. Aging happens automatically. Aging well takes some work. Now, let me tell you something nobody tells you about turning 85. Muscles don't just disappear because you got old. It disappears, or they disappear, because you stop fighting for it. You stop using them. Think back when you were 40. Did you have any idea what you would look like at 70, 80, or 85? Did you wonder whether you'd still be active, strong, and independent? Probably not. Now, old age seems a long ways down the road, but here's what I've learned. The person you become later in life is influenced by the choices you make along the way. Links to what I use are in the description. Now, you can spend your latter years participating in life, or you can slowly become a spectator. And while none of us can control everything that happens to our bodies, we can control how much effort we're willing to put into protecting what we still have. Muscles require work. Balance requires practice. Endurance requires movement. And independence requires all three. Now, when I talk about fighting for it, I'm not talking about beating yourself up in the gym. I'm talking about refusing to surrender your abilities without a fight. Staying useful, healthy, and independent takes effort, and far too many seniors accept old age and its limitations. You don't exercise because you're young. You exercise because you want to keep doing the things that make life worth living. Now, here's the thing. Everybody assumes that after a certain age, muscle loss is just part of the deal. The tax you pay for staying alive this long. And look, the fear is completely justified. It's documented. It happens to nearly everyone eventually. Now, I'm not here to tell you it's not real. I'm here to tell you it's not inevitable. Not at the rate people think. I don't do things by half. So many years ago, when my doctor told me that I was losing muscle mass, I didn't nod along. I didn't accept the slow fade. I went and found three things that actually move the needle. Now let me walk you through them. Okay, number one, protein. Now wait for it. Timing, not just protein amount. Now everybody talks about eating more protein when you're older. Fine. But here's what nobody mentioned to me. It's not just how much, it's when. I started front-loading protein at breakfast instead of saving it all for dinner like I used to. My body, it turns out, can only use so much protein at once to actually build muscles. The rest just gets burned for energy, or, well, you know where that rest goes. So now breakfast isn't toast and green tea anymore. It's eggs, Greek yogurt, or protein shakes. It's something with real protein in it before even I think about the carbs. It's recommended that we consume about 20 grams of protein with each meal. And here's the thing, I noticed a difference in about 3 weeks, not months, but weeks. My grip strength came back first. And it's funny what you notice. I picked up a 35-pound dumbbell one morning and it didn't feel like dead weight anymore. Also, every morning I take my water bottle and I add a pre-workout to it, creatine, leucine, and keratin. I use a product called Native Creatine that includes these 3 ingredients, and you can see that in the description area. Now, these last 3 ingredients are among the most important nutrients shown to boost strength and muscle from all angles. Now, I don't pretend this is some kind of a magic switch. Some mornings I just want the toast, okay? Old habits don't roll over and die just because you found an article about protein timing. Number 2, resistance training at least twice a week, non-negotiable. Now, this one surprised me most. I stopped treating strength training as a side gig. I already had my cycling 100 miles a week, Wednesdays, Friday, and Sundays. And that's just part of the formula. Cardio is therapy with spokes. Don't get me wrong, I'll defend that till the last breath. But cardio does not build muscle. It just doesn't. So I added 4 cardio and resistance days. They're a combination of cardio and resistance. Nothing heroic, nothing that would impress a 25-year-old at the gym. Just controlled, deliberate resistance work. I do squats, presses, rows, and curls, the stuff that makes your body defend the muscles it had instead of quietly giving it away. I also do cardio on the elliptical, the rower, and stair climber. And look, the point of all this isn't to turn you into some kind of a senior bodybuilder showing off at the gym. I'm kind of a workout junkie myself. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm just doing what I used to. So I work out 7 days a week. But for you, I would recommend at least 2 resistant days a week to get started. So don't go crazy with it. The point is function. And let me say that again. Function, function, function. Carrying groceries, getting up off the floor without narrating it like a NASA launch. That's the muscle that matters. Now, if any of this is resonating with you, if you felt that quiet fear of your body slipping away just a little each year, do me a favor and subscribe. I put this stuff into practice before I ever talk about it. This isn't theory, folks. Okay, number 3, sleep like it's a job, not an afterthought. Now, I'll admit, this is the one I resisted the longest, sleep. Muscle doesn't get built in the gym. It gets built while you're sleeping, recovering. I used to treat sleep like something that happened to me, not something that I managed. 7 hours, 6 hours, whatever the evening allowed. Now I protect 8 hours like it's a doctor's appointment I can't miss. And here's the thing. My wife will tell you, with everything she's dealt with, the surgeries and the Parkinson's, in our house we've learned the hard way that recovery isn't a luxury. It's a foundation everything else stands on. I finally applied that lesson to myself, not just to her. So 3 things. Protein timing in the morning. Resistance training twice a week, non-negotiable. And sleep, protected like it's sacred. Now, I'm not saying you'll build muscles exactly the way I did. Everybody's starting line is different, and that's okay. For your own version of this fight, that's what we're looking for. As I've mentioned before in my videos, I see a lot of seniors on the bike trails and at the gym, and I've noticed something interesting. Year after year, many of them never seem to change physically. They're showing up, and that's certainly better than sitting at home. But I've watched some of the same people work out for years without much improvement in their strength, in their endurance, the body composition, or posture. Now, there's one gentleman I see regularly who spends most of his time riding an upright stationary bike and then does a little bit of light weight work. He's been doing basically the same routine for years, yet he still carries a very large belly, which can be associated with increased health risks. Now, I'm not criticizing the guy. In fact, I give him credit for still showing up. But it raises an important question. Is simply going through the motions enough? Now, his workout is probably doing him some good. Movement always beats no movement. But if you want your body to improve, you may need to challenge it a little more and really work out. Maybe that means more resistance, a faster pace, heavier weights, better nutrition, or simply changing a routine your body has gotten comfortable with. That happens a lot. Now, showing up is step number one. Progress requires giving your body a reason to adapt. Now, share what's working for you in your comments. I read every one. Look, the point of all this isn't to outrun the calendar. It's not about being invincible. It's about being adaptable. Muscles you build in at 85 isn't just muscle. It's proof that the fight was worth having. Okay? All right. Well, this is Charlie Fuller. I'll see you on the road.